Yo, what's up, guys? Trey here. So, I just wanted to make a video about this, and to be honest, I never really planned on making a video like this. But here recently, I've been noticing like some new players in PUBG and everything, and so if you are new to the game, I thought maybe I would share a few tips and tricks and settings that might make the experience a little bit better. I can only imagine coming into PUBG right now as long as it's been out and stuff like that. So I just thought maybe I would share a couple of tips, a couple of tricks with you guys that have helped me along the way. I just hit over 7,000 hours on Steam on this game. I've been playing it ever since it came out. So I thought maybe I would just share a few of the tips and tricks that I've learned that have helped me. Let's get straight into it. Um, so in your settings, the first tab that we want to talk about is graphics. Under basic display mode, I'm using full screen. I think it's the best for FPS and performance. Resolution, I use 1728 by 1080. This is a pretty common stretched res in PUBG. A lot of people are using this. You'll have to go to NVIDIA control panel to actually make a custom res. And if you don't know how to do that, I can make a separate video if you guys want to do that. But just for now, for time's sake, I'm going to assume that most people know how to do that. Lobby FPS cap, I'm using 60 FPS. Um, Basically, that's because you don't really need 200 frames in the lobby. And I don't like to stress my machine if it's not necessary. So, in-game FPS cap, I'm on custom, and I'm using 144. This is because my monitor is a 144 hertz monitor, and I've tried unlimited, and for me personally, the game runs smoother when I cap the frames to my refresh rate. If I'm using unlimited, I seem to get really good FPS 1 second, so like 250 FPS, and then sometimes I'll go down to like 160, and it's just a real big fluctuation, and it just doesn't feel smooth. Not for me, so that's why I cap it to that. I just like it like that. It feels really buttery smooth for me. So brightness, I leave it on 100. I think it's best for visual quality, and it helps me be able to spot enemies faster. And I leave this universal for all maps. Render scale, I always keep this at 100. You can bump it up to 120, but that's only if maybe you want the best graphics that you can get. In a game like this, personally, I prioritize better performance over graphics. I find that 95 between default 90 and max 103, I find 95 to be a good middle ground for those. This is pretty common. A lot of people use 95 FOVs. So, um, okay, well, get fucked. See you guys on the next video. Okay, we're back. Where were we? Let's see here. So yeah, I leave my FOV on 95, as we were saying. So overall graphics quality, um, I used to run very low on everything, but recently that's changed, and I'll tell you why. Is because when I run very low on everything, uh, everything just looks bad. And what I mean by that is it just all blends. The bad just blends. So it makes it sometimes it's hard to spot people. Um, I've noticed. And so within the last few months, I've changed this up a little bit. And so I like to leave my aliasing on medium and my textures on medium. It's kind of preference, but I just find with these settings, it's easier for me personally to spot enemies. There's only one setting that I could tell you in here to absolutely leave low, and that would be effects. And the reason that you want to leave effects low is because, well, PUBG is not optimized very well, to be honest with you. And having effects turned up too high could cause just gameplay issues. So I would just, whatever you do, make sure you have effects on low. This is kind of controversial topic on the DX version, but basically what I can tell you is just don't use 12. As far as enhanced or just 11 goes, that's probably something that you're going to have to test yourself. So what I recommend on this would be just use DirectX X11, go play a couple TDMs, then go and put it on enhanced. Restart the game, play a couple TDMs. Whichever one, enhanced or just the 11, feels best for you, then that's the one I would use. Audio, everything in here really is preference. The only setting that even matters in here would be HRTF, and that's just directional audio. If you have this enabled, it's going to be a lot easier to directionally tell where your enemies are coming from, shooting from, all of that. Absolutely leave HRTF on. Mouse sensitivity is really preference. I had to move, so log us off again. So if you're looking for like a starting point on your sensitivity, what I would suggest is if you know what kind of DPI you want to use, so 400, 800, 1600, if you know what DPI you like, everything for here is going to be default 50, 1, 50, 50, 50. That's default. So I would recommend using what DPI you want. So let's say I use 800. So let's say you use 800. I would set all of these to, I would set this to 50, vert to 1, and the rest of these to 50, and then adjust it high, low, however you like from there. Input method, just hold crouch and hold ADS. Keybinds, everything's pretty standard in here. I don't think I've changed much in here, but the one thing I would recommend is your jump and vault key. I would assign, a key for each specific action because if you have jump and vault on the same key, which I think default is space, you're going to end up vaulting out of a window on accident and get yourself killed. So use different keys for that. Vehicle, the only thing that I really changed in here was vehicle driver seat and vehicle seat 2. So those are Q and E for me. I find that to be really easy, a lot easier than pressing control and 1 and control and 2. Q and E is really quick and easy. Your fingers are right there beside it anyway with the WASD. So Q and E is very easy. A lot of people use Q and E to seat swap. That's probably a pretty common thing. But in vehicle, I would suggest Q and E for seat 1 and 2. Gameplay. Inventory character render is just when you press tab to look at your inventory, your players there. You can turn that off. Some people say to turn it off if you have, like dropped frames when you're opening it. Like, so if you open your inventory and you lose a bunch of frames for no reason or like whatever, then I would say probably turn that off because you don't really want to be losing frames at any given point. But if you're not experiencing that, then just leave it on. Colorblind mode, I like Protanopia because this will make the blood blue when you shoot someone. There's different ones, like I think there's an orange blood and like a purple blood or something. Protanopia, though, makes it blue. To me, it's the easiest one to see, so that's the one I like. Function. Your free look, you're going to want to, interpolation, you're going to want to turn this off. And the reason why is because if you have this on, when you go to free look using the alt, when you get done free looking, if you have this on, it will slowly rotate the camera back to center. But if you have this disabled and you go to free look and you stop free looking, it'll instantly snap back to the center. So you can go from free looking this way to right back to center instantly. And so I really like that. It feels really snappy. All of the rest of them, turn all of your default firing modes to full auto. You don't want to land in a hot drop and pick up a gun on single fire. There's only one other one in here, which would be additional action queuing. You want this on because your character, with this off, your character has to complete an animation before he can start the queuing of another one. So he has to completely wait for an animation to be done before he can start doing another one. And so if you have it on, there's less input lag, or there's less, you can go ahead and queue stuff. It just makes performing certain actions faster, which is always a plus in a game like this. Others, really, this is just your replays, death cams. I have these on. Some people have said having replays and death cams on can cause stutters. I have not personally experienced that, but if you do experience that, maybe try turning them off. Otherwise, just leave it on. These are all my settings, guys. you have any questions about the NVIDIA control panel thing or about any other settings, drop them in the comments. If you guys want me to make a video uh, on the NVIDIA control panel or something else involving PUBG, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Hopefully some of this helped. If you are new to the game, just let me know. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.